Good morning, friends.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, sir. Good morning,
Good
sir.
morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this
Good morning, sir.
webinar. क्या है? Attendance कैसे हो रही है? दो बार आ रही है आवाज? Okay. Welcome to this webinar on socio-economic aspect of environmental impact assessment. In fact, can you share the screen?
Yes.
We have a full day program today. We have Dr. Harshit Sinha, a famous expert in socio-economic sector. I think before we start, I wanted to give you a little briefing about why did we think of having a webinar on socio-economic aspect. Personally, I don't know how many people,
Muted. Unmuted.
And during all these 13 years, and also 2 terms as an expert of committee of Ministry of Environment and Forest. All these days, the EIA reports which I was reviewing as a NABET assessor and also as the expert committee member, we found that the socio-economic aspect, which is supposed to be very, very important aspect, was given the least priority. What we saw in the reports was an inventory of what is the, how many men are there, how many women are there, how many hospitals are there, how many children, how many Hindus, how many Muslims. And the real, issue of how the developmental activity would impact the community and how the community will impact the industry have not been touched upon. I have known Dr. Sinha, who is going to be the lead speaker today, for quite some time. In fact, he is the only person during my 13 years of experience doing justice with the socio-economic aspect of EIA reports. That's why we thought of inviting him. He is a member of Recycling Association of India. And we thought of inviting him to talk to all of you and share his with you so that we can do justice with the important component of environment, what we call as socio-economic environment. So I just want to introduce the subject by, next slide please. See, friends, you will agree with me that the community and industry have to coexist. After all, whatever developmental activity or developmental planning we are doing, for whom we are doing, there are only 2 purposes of developmental activity. Number 1, to improve the economic conditions of your country. and secondly, to improve the quality of life of the community. These are the two basic purposes of developmental activities. You will also agree with me that the industry and community neighbors. And as good neighbors, we learn the practice of give and take. For this. Now, give and take has been only when there is a balance between give and take. बड़ा simple example मेरे दिमाग में आता है कि your neighbor that comes to your house and says, "अच्छा, I want a plate of rice and some sugar." So she comes almost every alternate day, and when you need it, you go to her house, and if she refuses, you feel bad. Now, so the neighbors will remain remain happily together if the give and take is balanced. And that same thing has to happen in case of industry. Industry neighbor is community. Community can give to industry and industry can give to the community. And that is what we have to see in our impact assessment, that we are addressing this aspect of give and take seriously, sincerely, and we are proposing EMPs accordingly. So socio-economic aspect therefore has to look for what community can give to the factory and what factory can give to the community. I want to tell you one thing which you must remember always. A factory is a center of wealth creation. And it is always like an island of prosperity. And please remember, an island of prosperity cannot survive for long in an ocean of poverty. So it is the responsibility of this prosperous organization to take care of the community also around it. Next. Now let's look at a small thing, what community can provide to the factory. Human resource, obviously. There will be some raw materials which the industry needs, which can come from the community. Utilities, facility to process the solid waste, and supply of locally made spare parts to reduce cost. Similarly, what factory can give to the community is employment, skill development, technical and financial assistance to entrepreneur development, partnership as ancillaries, education, culture, sorry for the spelling mistake, skill, sports and entertainment support, health and hygiene support. Now, these are a few things I thought before we start the detailed webinar. I just wanted to introduce the subject, that these are the basic things we must keep in mind so that we can establish a balance between the community and the factory and the developmental activity. And that is what is the responsibility of social. I want to tell you, I could have never thought of anybody other than Dr. Sinha to carry this message and to share his experience, long experience with you people today on these aspects which I have just introduced to you. Now, with these few words, I would request Dr. Sinha to proceed to take over and share your experience, because personally I am very impressed with your work, and along with Mr. Let me also acknowledge Nirjan Lakhia, which has been doing wonderful job in these areas. Thank you very much, Dr. Sinha. Over to you.
Thank you, sir.
Next.
Okay, welcome all the participants from my side. And I'm very happy to Ria, who gave me the opportunity to share my views, to share my...
आवाज कम आ रही है आपकी.
Now it's okay?
Closer to the mic.
I don't have mic.
Sir, little better now.
Hi, it's better.
Okay, now it's okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So once again, I welcome everybody. And I am very thankful to Ria to give me an opportunity to share my views on these topics. Before I proceed, I will let you know whatever I'm talking today is not a one-day work. It's almost 1 decade, almost 2 decades you can consider. I have been doing a lot of experiment based on the feedback I received from the various assessors, friends, colleagues, and as well as ACOs working, and try to integrate the subject matter system. Okay, Rajni, could you share the screen? Okay, right. Is my screen is visible?
Yes, sir. Screen is visible.
Hello. Okay, just a minute.
Yeah.
Now, can you see the presentation?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I was telling you that this is not a one-day work. This is a series of workshop which I have done, series of reports which I have written in context to SE in EIA. Before I proceed, I would like to say a few things. That first of all, if not required, do not share your videos as well as close down your mic. This will help us to have a smooth functioning of the webinar. Secondly, please bear with the technology hitch and as well as the climatic condition. On both sides, there is a heavy rainfall going on. So there could be a possible that some technical glitch happen in between. So we have a patience. Now, thirdly, I will be asking you a few questions and you have to respond on your chat box. So it make a live interaction. Usually, so far for SEA, this is my 15th webinar, of which 8 I have done offline and rest I have done online. So I feel more comfort with offline because I need interaction with the participants, and each slide will have some or the other way for some questions. So I would request you, instead of opening mic, just type your answers on your chat box. I will be watching on my next computer all the chat things. And now I shall begin. Now, what do you think about the socio-economic environment in EIA study? How much weightage did you receive at your organization, at your ACUs where you have been registered, among the other core professionals like water, hydrology, EV? What is their perception about socio-economic? No? And what is your own perception that about this subject, whether you have taken it because no other option is there, so we have taken socio-economic, or you think that this is the most challenging task? You know, when before NABEC, when I was doing this EIA work, only 3 people used to write the report. Thanks when the NABEC come in 2011 and each professional have their own role. So I was wondering which role I should take. So some of my friends who are working with me, they say you are good at socio-economics. So you try to develop, because all other are a science, so they have a formula and all those things that could be incorporated and can be done. But socio-economic is such a thing that nobody can write. They are confused. What is to be written? No clarity about the subject matter, no clarity about the scope, right? And each person have their own perception, right? This is socio-economic in EIA. And so the expert, socio-economic expert, become really unpuzzled. They got puzzled and lost, unclear, baffled. And it's something like, you know, the public bell, either in the temple or in a church. Anybody come and just make a ring of it. So socio-economic is everybody's subject. And everybody tries to overcome by saying that my idea is very good. You should incorporate this idea. And our expert is lost. He is confused. What to do, what to write, what I shall not write, how I can measure the impact. And you know, there are thousands of socio-economic indicators. And among these, how to select for the EIA, right? So let me ask you a question. It's a survey and you have to answer it on your chat box. I'll be reviewing it. See, what is your perception about the socio-economic in EIA? Least significant sector in EIA, no importance compared to the core sector. SE means only giving employment. can't change, compare link of SE impact with the core sector. No clarity, highly confused, unable to define, classify, unclear, puzzled, no boundaries, labor intensive, time consuming, costly efforts. So put your combination. I have selected 1, 2, 3 and 1 combination 4, 5, 6. Now I want you, what do you think? What is your perception regarding the socio-economic? Just type the numbers in combination or single, whatever you think is of importance. Everybody please participate in this survey. Okay, only one response on employment. Any other? 5 number vote. 4 and 5. Only 3 responses out of 70 people. Okay, good. 8 number. All the above. Very nice. None of the above. Okay. Yeah, very good. 9 number. Good. I request Rajni to copy all the responses related to the survey for the further analysis and send it to me. Okay. Now, this is a situation. This is a project area of yours in a rural area where you see the mountains, the agriculture field, the establishment, and then your huts, houses are there, habitats are there, and very undulating ground surface. And you want to do socio-economic of this region. This is, from my side, it is one of the example. But if you go for the mining, if you go for a dam, it will be more complicated. So what is our objective? What are the challenges? No, first of all, we have to know what are the challenges of socio-economic, right, in EIA. So first thing is in defining the area, scope, and objective of the study in EIA. Whenever you go for any project, first of all, you define the area, scope, and objective of your work in socio-economic. Then how you are going to select the variable. That is one of the most important, crucial part. I think Sharma sir has really taught me about this selecting the variable, because when first I met him on my second assessment in NAVET, and he really, I used to write stories of 25 to 30 pages, and he just threw down, this is not an impact assessment of socio-economic. So selecting variable, all credit goes to him, and one more, Professor Ramakrishnan, late Professor Ramakrishnan, yes, he is no more. Now, how to create a database is again a challenge. Today, I will be giving you live demo, how to create a database, so that you can understand whenever you take any project, you have to create one Excel sheet file of that particular project, and what things, what variables you have to incorporate, that you will be seeing. Developing data set variable, that is okay. Then what are the scientific methods for collecting primary as well as secondary data? This is also one of the most important things, because everything is seeing the limitation of the time, money, and labor intensive. Socio-economic, very labor intensive. So thinking all these things, what method should be adopted to do the primary data collection for the validation? Data validation, data extrapolation, these are the techniques. Sharing data with the core expert. Why we want socio-economic want to share their data with the core expert, that I will going to explain you. And summarizing the inferences and in writing reports. Okay, now, yeah, I told you this is very time consuming, high cost, labor intensive. You know, I did one household survey of 1,50,000 households in the entire state of Gujarat. Do you know what is the cost of that particular project? It was 1.8 crore rupees, right? And we in EIA for doing A or B project, 12 to 18 lakhs. So how is it possible that we should do each and everything which assimilate in a socio-economic scope in a limited time with limited cost and should have a minimum labor, right? It means that you alone can do the entire thing, that I mean. Now, what are the learning objectives today? Defining the project area and secondary information of the baseline socioeconomic status of the area to be collected, methodology for sample collection for primary survey, understanding the project for its resource requirement, type of manpower, training, needs, local resources sharing, etc. Defining population projection, extrapolation forecast, socioeconomic quality of life index, how to do it, that data validation technique, define and quantify the standalone impact interdependency. Now, when I got one response that employment is the only yardstick to measure the impact in socioeconomic. So you will see what are the other things also. It is not only the environment, and Sharma sir have already discussed about the give and take. I will be discussing in detail. The future challenges of socioeconomic. Now, with the emergence of new topic ESG, SDG, and climatic change, how socioeconomic could be integrated, all these aspects in EIA. That is also one part I'm going to take. And budget provision of SE in action plan by the project procurement. That is very important, and we have to take into consideration this also. Now, today, I will be concentrating on two aspects. That is one, EIA notification of 2003 and the draft notification in 2021 and 22, and NABET EIA guidance, which they have given how to write the report, what are the things to be considered, and what are the quality aspects to be considered while writing the report. So I will be describing in detail the chapter 3, the socioeconomic, yani how to develop baseline data for EIA report in socioeconomic. That is one of the major objects. The second thing is impact assessment. By and large, impact assessment in socioeconomic is not yet thoroughly explored. It is only the few senior assessors who taught me. Actually, I was writing report, and that they said this is not an impact. Impact is something where you find either positive or negative, long lasting or short term. So in that way, I have classified, I have designed a tool, I have tested the tool. So it will help us to understand how to measure the socioeconomic impact and what are the variables which are going to be incorporated in this regard, right? Additionally, we are going to talk about corporate environment or social responsibility. This is actually a very big topic. I need 2 days to complete the entire, but I will be sharing a very small aspect of it, and that will be very helpful to you. My voice is not clear. Somebody says that I will request you to check your internet connection. If this problem is faced by everybody that my voice is not clear, please let me know on the chat box.
I think, Dr. Sinha, now it is much better.
Okay, so I have to be a bit closer to the computer now. Okay, now and then comes a rehabilitation resettlement. Actually, this is a very big topic. I have worked 7 to 8 rehabilitation projects, including Narmada Sardar Sarovar Dam, and I would be sharing nutshell of it because again I need 2 days to complete this rehabilitation resettlement in socioeconomic in terms of our SIA law of our country. So these are two are very big, but I will take a main part of it, and if the demand is there, then in future from this platform or other platform, I can develop the entire presentation for CER, CSR, and RNR. Okay. Now, the entire presentation of today has been divided into 4 parts. Part 1 is the chapter 3. Part 1A and B is the chapter 3. Part 2 is related with the chapter 4, that is the impact assessment. Part 3 is the rehabilitation, and then comes part 4 is CSR. So, but most of the time will be consuming in part 3 and part 4. Part 1 and part 2, and part 3 and part 4 will be taken in 1 hour only. But much of the time will be given here because I am going to take demo exercises, live demo presentation, how to create a database, right? Defining a project area. I think everybody would be doing it, no? Going to Google, demarcating the region, 5 kilometer, 10-kilometer buffer zone and core boundary like this using the Google. Now, this is okay, it's very good. But here the chances of missing the villages is more because Google does not identify each and every village. That is the first thing. Second thing, whatever the villages you have identified in your project area must be matched with the census data. That is, each village must have village location code. Now, this is the another way where village boundaries are there, and each and every village boundary is being associated with one location code defined by our country under the census, right? So now the problem is largely people practice this Google diagram, but I prefer that once you make this Google diagram, overlap it with a Bhuvan that is in Parivesh. You have to overlap, you have to show your project area and overlap, and then you will see these things. The village boundaries are coming and the number of villages you have identified is matching with it or not. So that the location code is there so that you can take the entire village data. This is one of the most important aspects, and many people do think that no, it is not available. There are a series of complaints. Earlier when I used to take, this was the major complaint that we don't receive such type of data. But now today I'm telling you, I'm showing you the links where it is easily available, free of cost. You don't have to spend not a single paisa on it. Everything is available. Take one Bhuvan. You have to just register in the Bhuvan and you will see the type of data they are having. And 2D, 3D model are there, and you can overlap or you can download the respective data from here. 3D is there, 2D is there. I'm not going to open it because it will take a lot of time. It is just to remember the link, and you can check out, you can take the data from here free of cost, and all are dynamic in nature. Means all data are latest data which has been uploaded. Second thing is, in order to relate data in impact assessment, agriculture and all that, even in the land use, people can take the entire data of air quality monitoring, vegetation, crop, polar science, planetary, hydrology, geology. Everything is given by the government free of cost. You have to just register, have a small training with them, and then you can fetch the data the way you want to interpret in your report. So this is also one of the source where you can get free data on the physical features. Now come this part. Sir, village boundary हमको data नहीं मिलता. We have to scan it and then we have to digitize it and we have to do lot of time is consumed, sir. So now don't worry. Survey of India. You have to register your Survey of India site and you see all product, all type of data, vector based. Everything is real. Some are paid, some are free. So topographical maps are also there. Digitized vector database is also there. So in your area, you go to area, select that area, and you can download. Administrative boundary, here comes our. I have downloaded everything from this. Everything. So wherever, not in Gujarat, but any part of India, if you give me a project, I can make that sort of my digital terrain is there. So some of the data, online data is paid services and some are very free. So my sense is now there is no excuse in order to make a quality report and you have to develop such type of map. So these are the three links where you can get the data free of cost. The problem related earlier, there was in 2011, there was series of queries coming to me that we don't have data and a lot of time is being wasted. Now these things are over. This I want to highlight, and these are the three links and you can download. Don't copy. I will be sharing my PPT in PDF form. So in that you can see and later you can do it. Now, since we have to develop the socio-economic status of the project area, what are the indicators? That is one of the major confusion, that which area we have to select, right? Many people do a lot of other things which is not even having any scope or relation with the EIA. So after doing a lot of research, and covering almost, I have done over 200 EIAs in last 15 years. So the suggestion which came and lot of critics and other type of things were there. So I do a lot of R&D and created this set of data that this much must be minimum in your report. That is the physical location, demographic, health, education, agriculture, trade and commerce, economic source of income, public amenities, transportation, individual groups. And I will tell you, each and every variable has some significance in EIA. So don't say that you have taken unnecessary. Be very selective in nature. There are thousands of socio-economic data in Census as well as in other reports also. Which are the sources of information? Gazetteer District Census Handbook is a major source of basic health statistic, vital stats, health statistic, district information booklet, statistics of municipal corporation and towns, annual industrial report, annual forest report, remote sensing data, National Institute and international data. These data are already now, the data problem of data has been solved. But remember, in your area, just I will be going back. I forgot to tell you one. Now you see, this is the data. Yeah, this is your project area, and this is the map you have generated. What you are seeing in this map? In the map, we see two talukas of two districts, four talukas of two different districts. So within the map area, there is a possibility that there could be a one taluka of one district. There could be, here you cannot justify, in the Google you cannot do it. But while making such map with the census map, right, Survey of India का data लेके आप ये जब map बनाएंगे, then you will get the exact picture how many things have been involved, which are the administrative boundaries are there. So remember, there are four talukas, two districts, two talukas from each district, right? So this gives an idea that in your project area, it is not one single area. Why I'm telling this? This will help you while doing the extrapolation technique, right? So please remember my words, these slides, the bifurcation or administrative boundaries among the districts, within the districts, right? Here you cannot do in Google until and unless you have an overlay of district and taluka boundaries here. Let me go to the, yeah. Now there are 2000 indicators. Each one have their own significance. What you are going to do. And this problem I have also faced initially. So I have attended one ADB online course. I do a lot of online courses to upgrade my knowledge. There I could see the things, how the indicators are being selected. There should be some relevance in context to your EIA or EMP report. Some effectiveness, either positive or negative, by virtue or internet, directly or directly, you can measure from that particular variable, whatever. Efficiency, what I told you, the positive or negative measurement. So my sense is, and sustainable is this, in terms of whenever you are defining, it should be sustainable. That particular indicators, reading or data is constantly coming to you and you are using the same set of data in all EIA report. It is not like that in one EIA report you have used such data, one kind set of data in another EIA. So that sustainability while selecting whether I will get the secondary or primary data of that particular variable. So whenever you develop your indicators, set of indicators for EIA report in defining the baseline or doing the impact assessment, please remember all these four main important criteria. Okay. Yeah, I will share the PPT, don't worry, right, in PDF form, and I will give you all linkages where you will download the data and maps, etc. Right? Now, so please remember these four criteria. The moment you use these four criteria, then it becomes easy for you to understand what you are selecting, why you are selecting, why is it a measurable thing or not? Is it linked with the EIA report? Yes or no? You ask the question among yourself while describing or while writing the report, right? So I will once again request you, please follow this step while selecting or while making a database. So now the problem is what kind of data, where kind of data. There are so many sectors. Now physical is the location, physiography, drainage, forest, climate, green belt, land use, river. Is this have any significance with the location in socio-economic? Can you imagine what sort of research I have done it? I will share this. Then demographic but natural. Then health. Definitely in the area, project area, what is the health status? What is the education status? What is the agriculture pattern? Right? Again, in the area, the major thing is trade and commerce, how the trade and commerce is flourishing, type of industries and real estate, manufacturing industries. These are the three main components which you have to describe in socio-economic. It may be possible that you don't have the data of these things, but these three data are equally available in Census as well as in other sources also. Economic income source, yes, what is the economic income source in that area? These are the subtopics where we have to concentrate while defining your economic income source. Public utilities in the village data sheet, that is amenity data sheet of Census, you will get all these things. Transportation, you have to observe on your map, you have to and other indicators are also there, self-help group. It is how when you are doing with data validation, you are doing some percentage of primary survey, then you can also get these data. Apart from this, still many of the examiner, assessors, your own proponent will ask you to include or not to include data, though it is there, but how to include it depend upon the terms and condition you have been referred in the TOR of that project area. Now tell me, why we need to convert the number into specific rate? Anybody on chat box, is it necessary just to take number from the census and describe the SE condition of your project area? Is it true, or you have to convert into specific rate? Tell me how many agree to this, yes or no, on the chat box. Okay, one response, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, everybody knows. Now I'm giving you, thank you very much. I'm giving you an example. There is one variable, total working population. In area A, it is 989. In area B, it is 760C. And what is the pitfall? Today also many people just take this figure and narrate saying that total working population in area A is greater than area B. Area A and area B, you may consider district 1 or taluka 1, taluka 2 coming in your project area. That is what I mean to say. So they do right this way, but actually this is wrong way. What you have to do, you have to calculate the proportion. That you have to derive the proportion of work population rate in your area, and that is 55%, and this is 77%. So whatever you are describing earlier, looking the numbers, it become totally wrong, and it is not feasible also. This is the most feasible time, type to represent the data. So now the question arises, this way creating a demographic database from Census 2011. At present, I am having a Census 2011. So I'm using it. And how I will do the extrapolation that I will tell you later on. Now, I told you the significance of relevance, effectiveness, efficiency, sustainability, impact. When you open any district profile in Excel sheet, you will get around 200 variables data. I have not selected the entire 200 variable. I have selected only 22 variables, and which has some relevance, effectiveness, efficiency, sustainability. Sustainability means these data I am going to get in each and every census report, whether it is 2001, 1999, or 2011, or in coming 2021. These data are very constant, and you can do for household data, you can do the household survey, and you can fetch the information from census. sex ratio is the total number of females over per thousand male. Easily from the database of your districts you can collect, right? Sex ratio of children, proportion of SC, ST, literacy rate, illiteracy rate, work participation rate. All the formulas are given in standard reports. Go to International Population Studies website. They have several reports, DLHS, NFHS. Download one report. At the end of the report, you will see such all formulas are there. So I'm not using my formula. I'm using very standardized formula. So it is applicable and it is measurable also. Now, so it is measurable also. All these things, 4 things, it should comply when we select any variable. Let us see a live demo on how we are going to do it. Remember slide number 1, we have made a diagram in Google as well as with the village boundary. And from Google, you have selected the list, and that list, you have taken a district census data of that particular from the census website. Download that Excel sheet. It is free of cost, right? And then you, whatever villages you have marked on the Google map, you have to select those areas. See, I have selected these areas, right? And now out of 200, I have selected very few. No, this is the entire data sheet. More than 160 variables are there. And I have selected only 22 variables for doing my analysis, generating the database for chapter 3. Right? What you have to do? You have to do it, make a list. Now you will see Surat district is coming, entire Surat and Navsari. In your project area, which I have shown you the map, in that map, there are 2 districts, Navsari district and Surat district. And within the Navsari district, Jalpora is the Taluka area, Surat, Chorasi. So these are the sub-districts. So 2 districts, 2 talukas are there in your area. And then there is a name of village or a thing is I have noted whatever is been pointed on the Google as well as your village level map, census map were tallied by the Bhuvan site, right? So you have created a database. What you do? So how many villages are coming? There are 65 villages. You add all the variable total. Okay. What is the significance of adding the total? I will tell you later on. Now, what you have to do, you have to select, before I proceed, I will let you know that do the same exercise, taking the Excel sheet of 2001 and do the same thing which I told you you have been doing for 2011. Why 2001, 2011? Because we have to calculate the decadal growth rate. Now, what happened? What is the major problem which many of my senior assessors have pointed out? That people do not do any type of calculation. They just copy the data. This is what I mean to say. Why 2001 data is required, I will tell you. In some variables, it is needed to calculate, to show the decadal population. So this is also you should do because you want to do, and there is a significance in extrapolation technique about the 2001 and 2011 data, right? And there is another set of data the census provides is the amenity data. In amenity data, there are around 300 variables, right? 300 variables are there, most probably. And what you have to do as per your selection of the villages. So these are the villages identified in my area of the map. I have made a database of amenities, right? This database is for amenities. Why this database is used as an amenities, why it is useful, I will tell you later. So once you made coming back to this demography, once you made this database, now try to calculate. List out your 65 villages over here. Take one variable, population you have. You can fetch out the population data from area. Area in kilometers you can get from quality year. Here you will find the area database is there. Yeah, geographical area. See, so divide by 100, you will get in kilometers. Here it is given in hectares. So you create a area-wise area data here, and then you put a formula population to calculate the population density. See, I have done it. I have nothing taken from my side. It is all standard formula. Sex ratio, it is this. That is, if you click here, then go to upstairs, then female per 1,000 male. That is the formula. And you are calculating for each and every villages. Sex ratio of 0 to 6, proportion of SC, proportion of ST, total literacy rate, female literacy rate. These formula which I told you, it is already there. What you have to do, you have to put the formula selecting the variable of that particular village and then copy it, and you will get the entire data set. Now this is a representable form. It is in the representable form. You can use this data to narrate your findings about in the baseline survey. So what you have to do, you have to do the calculate total, average, maximum and minimum. In your area, what is the average population? Which area is having the maximum population? Which area is having, which village is having minimum? You will be calculating from here, and this is your entire demographic table of demographic extremes are there. So if you narrate this, so if you narrate this way, this will be helpful because you have taken the values after generating the database, converting the raw data into rates. So is it okay? Have you understood well? Please give me your response on the chat box. Okay. Similarly, quality of life. There are more than 200 data variables, and you want to develop quality of life index of your area. So what I did, I have selected 15 variables: Anganwadi, government primary school, government vocational ITIs, government PSC, SC, tap water untreated, largely in rural, river, canal beside, and everything, whatever I have selected has some significance in impact assessment, in calculating the quality of life index of your project area. So making such database, what is 1 and 2? 1 is present, 2 is absent, right? You did like this for entire 65 villages of your project area, then calculate into percentage, and then you will see, do the analysis, and you see in 8 variables are 100% present in all 65 villages. Rest are in varying, are not present. So the quality of life in individual villages will vary. The quality of life score will vary, which I will coming to you to explain you, right? So this is the way you create the database. Other things I will take you later on as we proceed. So here I am now closing and coming back to my presentation. So now it is clear why we want to convert the number into rates, how it will be helpful. This gives some significance, no? Now, if I told you, tell me the migration status of your area, which variable is suitable? I have given you here. You are not going to do migration study separately. That makes sure it will heavy cost. You are given only 50 to 70,000 rupees, maybe. A very pitiable condition of socio-economic. People don't pay them because they think socio-economic really is the least prevalence. But I tell you, it is, my Guruji Sharmaji told me, socio-economic sabke paap dhota hai. And I'm going to prove it today. I've developed such strategy that everything will be judged by the socio-economic. Take a sex ratio of total of your project area. What is that? Total number of females per 1,000 male. If it is coming 989, mean it is having a very balanced. And if it is having balanced means male and female ratios are balanced. And largely it is been found in the rural areas. I will come in all these things, but I'm explaining you. And if you see male and female ratio is 700. What does this signify? That in your area or in that village, the male population is more. Why it is more? Because there are industries located, there are source of livelihood, the male population are migrating in. So this is the indirect way. First of all, you have to understand demography. Read a demography good book and then you can select the variable. I did everything to create this set of database. Okay. Now come to the extrapolation technique. What I have created a data is of 2011 and today is 2023. And many of the examiner, ACOs, assessors from various organizations pointed out this, and they are very true. You are narrating in your report about 2011 data, and current is 2023. At least if you had 2021 census data, then that is probably okay. But even now, we don't have, we may get next year or this year, we don't know. Then what technique shall be used to generate the future population of your project area? Now, I will tell you the major blunder people are doing. What they are doing, they are taking the rates of the districts. In my area, there are two districts, Surat and Navsari. So what is the best way? Is to write the district rates, and that will solve the problem. And sometimes the examiner, the invigilator, the assessors also don't see these things. No, if I am an examiner, I won't accept that thing. Your area is 10-kilometer radius, that is your buffer zone, including the core zone of 5 kilometers, in which you have 65 villages or town. So we want to do analysis of 65 villages of your project area, not the entire district. So people do write about the district data and they are very happy that we have done it. So this is very wrong method. Now we have to do the projections. So projection means we need a two data set. I told you I have done 2001 data set. In my previous slide, previous demonstration, I have shown you have to collect 2001 and then 2011 so that you can project the data of 2021. You need two set of data. Remember. And don't use the district data, use the project area, do this exercise, create a database of your project area. I created of 65 villages and I will show you the demonstration, how it has been done. Right? Now, there are several techniques. 1 year, 1.5 years back, when I was suggested by the examiner or the assessors of the NABED, no, you are not doing this extrapolation technique. No, it will not be. Then I started reading, I consulted my friends, many statisticians. And above all, I could summarize there are 9 types of techniques, extrapolation techniques. Though there are many, very complicated. But we have to use, I remember the word of our senior assessor of NABED, Mr. A.K. Ghosh. He used to say, whatever you do, whatever you develop, that should be easy and easily replicable. So don't go in more complication. And this is what I have learned from him. And second thing is, whatever we in a country has, use that data. Do not purchase data outside the country. And here I have shown you in earlier slide that we have now everything open, free of cost. So based on these two principles, I have developed this thing that I will be using all Indian data. And I will be making techniques very simple. I know very complicated techniques. I will be using simple technique to make you understand so that you can also do that projections. Now these first 4 techniques are applicable. Out of first 4, I have tried first 3. Fourth one is not yet suitable for our data. First 3 are suitable. How it is suitable, and these 3 are it's a curve diagram, and we don't have the current, we have to project the population towards the growth rate, means higher growth rate, increasing pattern. So we should not use 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. These techniques are not applicable. Only first 4, and among the first 4, first 3 are the most appropriate technique. Now, see the data. Linear population, geometric population, and exponential population. For your kind information, you have to use one data, one population projection technique. But when I started, I used to take each and every data set for all these three formulas. Why? To make the projection more appropriate. I will show you the example and you will be surprised that different formula will have a different projections. Here is the population of census from the recent and past are available. Then only you can apply this population now, which I have said this condition. This is applicable to all these three formulas. Population growth rate where is stable. Projection here is in the near to the future, and with the assumption that all these conditions are satisfying in these two data set, 2001 and 2011 from the same source, that is the census data. All these conditions are applicable, then you can use linear data. If these two conditions are applicable, you can use geometric data. And if exponential want to know, then this is the major condition where you have to judge whether I have to use exponential, population projection, geometric, or linear. Don't take the entire district data. I told you earlier also, and I'm telling you now, what they say, they take the district data from district head census has two districts are coming now, Sari and Surat, unka district area de lo, और वो दो figure लो, total population को project कर दो, and that is the finish. Your job is finished. If I am an examiner, I will really throw out that analysis. Your project area is 10 kilometers, and within the 10 kilometers, there are 56 villages or town. I want projection of these. Since we have created the database, so we will be doing extrapolation technique from census data in your project area using these three techniques. Let us come and see. Now, whatever the formulas are there, I have put that formulas here. First, I will let you know what you have to do. Population, total population, total urban population, urban male population, total urban female population, total rural population, male population, total rural female population. If you remember, I told you, you have to add here the database. These are the totals, right? Here you have to take these totals. Quality of life will come. I will explain you how to calculate the quality of index, quality of life, social index, economic index, and quality. It will come. Please wait. Please bear with me. First, try to understand how to do extrapolation. Now, I told you that you have to add. So in project area, total household is this much. Your total population of the project area is male population is here. Everything is here. Everything is here. Similarly, for 2001, everything you have done a summation of all the variables which you want to select. Now, the same method I am using here, right? So total rural female, total rural population is there, urban population is also there, literate population is also there, female literacy is also there, total work population, ST, because my area constrains scheduled tribe area. So I have taken the scheduled tribe as a main variable. What I have to do, 2001, 11 data, just calculate the decadal population and an average growth per year you have to calculate. Then you have to put that particular variable, and 2001 is your baseline, base year population data. And then multiply by the annual average per growth rate, and you will get a 2001 data. Take an average of it. Take the average, this is the average population. Don't take this last population, you will be mistaken. So these are the things which I have done for each and every variable. And now we are doing the analysis of each and every. This is the arithmetic projection, this is the exponential projection, and this is the geometric projection. The formulas are here. I will give you the template to use this. In the template, the formula is there, but you have to do the calculation at your end. See, I will give you the example, one set of data. What is the average increase over here for this? Here is the average. You have calculated from 2011, 2012, 2021. right? And you have calculated the decadal, entire 10 years decadal population growth, and per year also you have calculated. And then you have, what you have done, you taken this population multiplied by the average, keep on adding, keep on adding, keep on doing, change the formula, and at the end of that you arrive a figure. Don't take this figure, take an average. See, I have taken the average. Now put it in the formula. Average increase we have taken here. Base year population is 2011 because we are going to project 2021. And base year population means in 2011, what is the population? You put it here. Projection, which year you are going to project the population? 2021. And what is the total period in between two? It is the 10 years. So you put a 10 years. And this is the formula. H4, average increase plus base year population into this total period plus H2. Base year population into H2 is 10. So the moment you put that readings in, you will get a arithmetic progression. Similarly, what I have done the base year population projection area, and this formula is different. What is KS? KS here is total period is a 10 period into exponential of K6. K6 is 0.9, that is the average growth rate, and K4 is the base year population. The formula is different from arithmetic progression, exponential progression, right? Similarly, the same thing, I have taken the reading and I have put that reading in this formula. Here the formula is different. See, the calculation of projection with 3 different formulas, right? Now, why I'm doing 3 different formulas? Total population, here it is projected around something 3.9 crores. Here is how much? 5. Here is, see the variation. Using 3 set of formulas, see the variation of the projection of the data. Similarly, for total urban male population, it is doing something very high, very high. See here it is, I know, I don't know. Here it is very soft, very clear. Similarly, you go for total urban female population, very high using arithmetic, exponential very high, and but geometric, it is steady. So I did for each and everywhere, total rural male population, total rural female population, total rural population, total urban population, total, this is literacy rate, right? Everything, total female literacy rate, and total work participation rate, total scheduled tribe population. For every variable, I did the projections. Now you have to think and compare which reading is appropriate. Remember, in my project area, if you see in the Google map or the village web map, the Surat city is coming by large. And Surat city is growing very fast. In 2001, 98% of the city or a district was urban. Now it is 100% urban. So these variations is coming, but you don't have to project the population figures beyond the Indian population, 1.40 crores. And here Surat population, by the formula, it is going beyond 1.40. Don't take such figures. That is why I insist to do 3 calculation of each and every variable. Now, I tell you very frankly, these formula will depend upon your project area, what kind of project area you are having. And I tell you one thing, this arithmetic or linear projection is now being discarded. Nobody uses. Only exponential and geometric. By large, geometric is largely used. And you will see my result. Geometrics are good enough compared to these. Those are coming in exponential in crores. But geometric projections are very good. See, near to our required estimate, right? So do not jump to a conclusion that you use one single method and you have done suppose a person does for exponential and see the projected population of total urban male population will be there, no doubt. it is there, influx of population is there because of high industrial growth. Projected population of female, both male and female, but female is exceeding. How is it possible? Male should exceed. So here there is some discrepancy in the formula. So be careful for selecting the projection, which type of formula you should select while doing the population projection. Okay, so this is the template which I have developed. I will share the template for everyone so that they can use for their themselves. It is free of cost from my side. Let us move ahead. So I have shown you, be careful, don't take the entire district data. Again, I am telling you, your project area is 10 kilometer radial distance, which covers 65 village or town. That data you have to do, and then you have to do the projections, whatever the way you want. And you know, many people personally also come to me, "Humko sikhao." One of the people came from MSW, he don't know anything, not even Excel also. So after saying this thing, he was a bit tensed. Yeah, it's very difficult, very difficult. How I can do? I don't know anything. You should take help of others. No, nobody will be helping me. So I put this suggestion to my friends, Professor of Statistics, Mr. Muralidharan, my huggy buddies. So he was also laughing. Yeah, everybody cannot do this. He showed me a very simple method. Before I forget, I will explain. Yeah. Now you have taken all these 11 variables, 2001, 2011, 2021. This is a geometric. I have taken geometric position. I have discarded exponential and linear. And then I have calculated percentage change during the decadal. See. Now this is 4-term high. This is really, here it is negative, but here it is just double. 4 times, yeah, 20 times high, 10 times high. Why it is happening so? Think logically. Go to the Surat Municipal Corporation and you will see there are also steep rise of the population is there. This can be possible in 2021. There is a reason, because there is a huge industrialization and there is a lot of influx of the population. The entire Surat district is now urban, becoming urban. Forget about the Surat city, it is already urban. The entire district is all slowly becoming urban. So such a industrial growth rate is there. So this could be possible, but you have to give the explanation if an examiner asks you why there is so much difference, right? Then what you have to do, you have to take the data of state level Surat, Navsari, Jodhpur, because it in the project area it is all there. But till 2011, these are the 2011, and you earlier what I was using the project area of 2011, and I was comparing and giving my explanation. So that was wrong actually, because now we are in 2023. Now based on the previous, go to previous slide. Yeah, 2001, we have the data, and during the 2021, this is a decadal data, and we have to convert into 2021 in single year. So this is the single year status. What you have to do, you have to now compare these variables from 2011 to 2021. In your report, don't describe anything related to it, but describe about your project area related to these. How this total population, there is decadal growth rate. Here it is 838, here it is, so it seems it is reduced, but actually it is not that. Density of population you see, here it is 8,250, here it is 47. It's quite high, and that is true. If you check up the district website, they are also given, they are given much higher than this. So this is the way, when you narrate the things in your area, then you show the difference, the projections, the increase or decrease among the variables using these two set of data. Okay, so this is how you have to define the demographic data. Now I was telling you about my friend. No? So I went to him and I give me a very simple technique here. So he said, yeah, you can do the linear trend fitting graphs. It is very simple. This technique is about 5th standard technique, where you know the 2 points, 2001 data and 2021 data. And you put the line in the same direction with the same growth rate. See, 2001, 2011, and I have generated a imaginary line for 2021. 2021. Where it intersects, that gives you estimated population. And I think among all those three, this is the most reliable, because the rate of increase is equivalent to what we have given in 2001 to 2011 for all the variables. It will go simultaneously for all the variables the same way. So this becomes a little bit more accurate in my sense. And he was also very happy when I showed him, this will do, I will do. I will put a graph paper, I will take a Excel sheet, and I will do this line graph and project the entire variable population projection by this way. It's up to you. And the examiner, if you feel, okay, it's good. And if you, people from various background, they don't know statistics and all that, they can use these techniques. So nothing wrong in projecting this way also. But remember, while selecting those formulas, there are five type of various only rural area, 100% rural area, with least or no migration. Then which formula will be suitable, that you have to find out. Urban less, rural more. Urban is only 20% and rural is 80%. Less migration is there in urban area. Urban more, 80%. Now it is 100% in my area. This is what I am explaining. Rural less, 0. Here in my area it is 0. Or it is totally urbanized. If you take the data of 2021 census data when it will come of Surat, you will see the Surat districts is totally, your project area become totally highly urbanized area, and there is the highest migration. And it rarely happened, 50% rural, 50% rarely happened, but there is a possibility. So whenever you select the extrapolation techniques, then you have to select, you have to understand this combination of your population. What type of, when you create a database, see, when you create a database, there is one variable, rural, urban, see, right? So for urban, you add it separately, you will get urban female, urban male, then total rural, female, male. You just minus from urban population, the total population, you will get a rural population. So this is possible. You can do a lot of permutation and combination. And remember, here it is showing 98%. Urban population is 98%. This urban population, which I have selected, is now 98% in Surat. If you take a latest data of 2021, it will be showing more than 101%. So this is where we do a grassroots level analysis to understand the various permutation of combination of the variables to be described in your data set for chapter 3 in your baseline database. Okay. So here we were. Now see the difference. If we use the formula and if you use this linear graph, there is a huge difference. This difference in my area is valid because this difference is coming because of high influx of male population in the area, highly industrialized area. But in other areas, it may be very near, it may be very high. So before writing, do this analysis, do this cross verification, go to the district website, see what is the trend coming over there and what you have projected. Because that district projection will be about the entire district and your projection is about your 10 kilometers radial distance. There will be little bit variation. If it is too much variation, then something is wrong in your calculation or the formula you have used it. Okay, how many have understood now this extrapolation technique? Please write on the chat box. Yes, I agree. Not for each villages. It will be very time consuming. So that's why I give in the total of your project area. Do at the project area level. Don't do at the village level. It will take another 3 months to do that. Good, very good observation. So everybody understood? Got something about the extrapolation technique? Please don't fear, I will share my Excel sheet also. Right? Now we are moving ahead. Now somebody have asked how to calculate the index. Now what happened when you describe the demographic pictures, right? You have done demographic analysis. And what is the situation of index, social demographic index, population literacy female? what is real, what you call essence of the data. What is economic index of your area? What is quality of life index of your area? So again, what I told you, and here we have a limitation because we are having 65 village data, village or town data, and that all comes from the census. So we are taking 2011 data, and later I will show you how to extrapolate it, how to judge which are the variables to be judged and how it should be formed, right? So this is a socio-demographic index, population literacy, female index, excuse me. Sorry, I'm feeling thirsty because I was taking. Thank you. Now see, so we have calculated the demographic variables, all type of variables. We did the projections also, but still we are missing something. What is the socio-economic demographic index? And this idea, no, first came it from Sharma sir and then Professor Ramakrishnan Gautama, and many more people have pointed out this. Are yaar demography karte ho, aage to kuch karo. And I really realized. Again, Mr. Ghosh, senior advisor to NABET assessor, he told me use simple method. I know you know many things. So again, I have to think in that terms. And then there is a which type of data I should use. Again, I have to rely upon the census data because we are having 65 villages and towns. So I have used the census data. I have developed a formula with the help of my statistician friend, Mr. Professor Muralidharan. So you take as many of variables, then give the weightage based on your assumption. So this formula which I have used is applicable to all these three index. I have made earlier I was calculating different formula for different index. Later I realized no, that would be too difficult to calculate the index. Why we can't develop a simple common formula and then all the three index can be calculated. This is the formula where you can develop all the three index. Now, how to take which variable has to be taken to define the socio-demographic index? I have taken 9 variables: sex ratio, total sex ratio of children, population density. If you remember, we have made a database of Excel sheet. In that Excel sheet, all these data are there. And then use the uniform criteria of, now this will be having in per thousand population. This will be having in per thousand population density is a proportion. This is proportion, 100. So you have to make a data in uniform patterns. What you have to do, you have to allocate the scoring. How to do, and I have taken from 1 to 10 scoring. How to do scoring, I will let you know. Then allocation of that scoring, you have done it, and then you are calculating the total score of socio-demographic indexes of particular variable of particular village. Then what is your criteria? Sex ratio, I give much weightage, 30%. Population density is okay, 15%. Population data is 15%. Literacy rate 10%, and female data is 30%. See, this is my way of analyzing. You can change the weightage. The way you find the data in your area is significant. So in my area, what I have seen, the trend, I have developed this weighted index method, right? A criteria for giving the weightage of that particular variable. Similarly, economic index, again, I have shown you amenities, huge database, census data. I have selected 21 indicators, the direct indicators and indirect indicators. Direct indicators, which is really adding to the economic activity. Indirectly, what is adding to the economic activity? I have classified these 21 variables in 2 data sets. I have taken a data set and developed this, right? Then again, I had applied the principle of 1 to 10. I will tell you how to do it. And then allocation of weightage. Variable signals of direct economy means direct activity, I give weightage 70%, and indirect activity, I give 30%. So whenever you are calculating the score from 1 to 10, you have to multiply with 70% for those variable, 30% for these. This is the weighted index method. Very simple. I will show you live demo today, now also. Again, now the quality of life. कुछ याद आया? Quality of life. Well, somebody was asking me, right? Same way, I have taken 15 variables. I have shown you, if you remember, in Excel sheet. And these 15 variables I have selected, given 10 point. If yes, it is present, given 10. If no, 0 point. And then given the weightage that infrastructure, until and my criteria is until and unless there is an infrastructure, there is no services. So I give much weightage to infrastructure, 70%, and 30% to the services. If infrastructure is there, then service can be provided. This is my assumption. It may be different in your area, in your assumption way, right? Let us see practically. हमने quality of life index बनाया था यहाँ, याद है? This is what we have developed data. I've taken from 240 variables, 15 variables, which is easily traceable in the census, as well as easily can be validated in the field. So it is not that you have to do a thorough study while selecting these variables. Are you getting? Okay. So I have selected for quality of index 1. 1 means it is present, 2 means it is not present. The data of quality of index I have made here in this Excel file, separate Excel file. These 15 indicators, here is the villages, right? And here what happened, I have selected present or absent. If it is present, then 10. If it is absent, it is 0. I know many other techniques to do this, many other complicated formula, but I don't know. Everybody cannot do that. So I have been very simple. Just if it is present, the public amenity provided by the government, then it is good quality of index. We assume that. If it is not present, and then one could also take, if they can do the entire survey, cross-check. You can validate whether the present facility is working or not. You can validate in sample villages, but you cannot do it. So you have to select the criteria the way it can be analyzed. So I have taken presence and absence, right? Then what I did, I have given 10, 1 or 0, 0 or 10, and then I calculated the entire score of that particular village for infrastructure. Then similarly, for total score, infrastructure and services, here there is a combination of all 15. But now I have bifurcated. The score is here of infrastructure variable. Those infrastructure variable I have calculated here, and this is the way I did it. Then calculate the percentage of score and then average score. So there are 8 variables and 7 variables of service. Is anything? Okay. Now, earlier I have taken infrastructure, now I have taken services, 7 variables. Calculate the percentage score, average score. Now, I am taking this average and this average. इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का जो स्कोर एवरेज है और इसका जो स्कोर एवरेज है वो हमारा ये एवरेज वेटेड स्कोर है. सी द फॉर्मूला व्हाट आई डिड. इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर ये है, उसका स्कोर ये है 0.70, यानी 70% आई हैव डिसाइडेड माय क्राइटेरिया. सो आई हैव टेकन 70.7 एंड सर्विसेज का 0.3. ओके, यू डू इट, स्क्रॉल इट, you will get village wise quality of life index data. मिल गया. इसको क्या करो, इसका एवरेज ढूंढो, इसका मैक्सिमम वैल्यू मिलो. यू हैव टू पुट द फॉर्मूला हियर एंड मिनिमम वैल्यू. मैक्सिमम एंड मिनिमम वैल्यू का जो डिफरेंस आएगा वो इतना. हमको 4 ग्रुप करना है. यू कैन मेक 7 ग्रुप, 7 point of scale, 3 point of scale, 5 point of scale. I took it 4 point of scale. That is poor, fair, good and excellent. And then this 4.4, the interval between maximum and minimum is divided by 4. So you get a particular variable, a particular reading, how to proceed the reading, how to divide that 4.4 from maximum to minimum value, divide in 4 groups with the interval of 1.1. Minimum is 5.2, I did 1.1, and this is the upper limit of one group poor. Down from 6.4, I added 1.1, this is the for fair. So keep on adding and you will get these 4 group. Then how which the data score, no, average weighted data score. Which data score is falling in which group? You have to classify, calculate the percentage. Here you find the quality index is very poor during 2011 because almost 91% of the data belongs to this group. This is the way you have to write inferences, right? Similarly, what I have taken, socio-demographic data. यहाँ मैंने स्कोर दे दिया है. I have given the score, right? But how I have given the score? The same way, highest value and the lowest value divided by 10 groups, because your scoring pattern is 1 to 10. And then whatever the interval comes, the various groups will be coming and allocate the corresponding value to each villages based on the reading. 183, 183, right? So ये exercise थोड़ा tedious है, but it is easy. So I have taken population density, sex ratio, sex percentage of SC, percentage of female SC, percentage of ST, percentage of female ST population, right? Similarly, total literacy rate, female literacy rate. And again, I have classified into 5 groups. This is the total score of all the variables. Now for sex ratio, we have taken 2 variables. Which are the 2 variables? The total sex ratio and total 0 to 6 population sex ratio, right? Here it comes. So total 0 to 6 population. Calculated the 20 because 2 variable means 20 score is there. Calculate the percentage of score, then average score. Similarly, population density, a single score, so it will be becoming 10, 100, depending upon the score you have given for the villages, and then you calculate the average score. Total population, there are 2 variables here. Total score of total population. So whatsoever it's coming, you have to add it. Here it is 0, 0, no score. So you have to add the score, calculate the percentage, calculate the average. Total literacy, 2 data are there, female literacy and total literacy. So two data are there. And then female population, 3 data are there here. 3. Let me show you here. This you have to do little bit because I cannot explain you step by step. It will take a lot of time. So 3 data I have taken for female. You set your criteria, you set your own group. Don't follow this. I don't say. You follow my group is. You develop your own group and calculate. And then total score. Then you, again, which I have showed you in the slide, see. For female, the first population density 0.30. Female data 30, then density 15, 15, 15. These are the weightage I have given to this group score and calculated the average weighted score of each village for doing the socio-demographic. Again, calculate the average, maximum, minimum. You get the difference, divide by 4. You get the interval of your group, and this is how. Here what you see, 28 and 15, here 34. 66% of population in the area, projected area, are having good to excellent demographic indicators, right? This is the way you have to do. Now come to economic index. Again, I have taken 21 variables. 21 variables है, उसको हमने classify किया 2 में. First what I have taken it, then I have to make that all reading into uniform pattern, assigning the highest and lowest value, divide by them, then you will get a figure. That figure you have to divide by 10 because you are giving minimum 1 and maximum 10. Make a group, calculate the interval and make a group of 10 groups, and then you assign the score depending upon the readings. Little bit serious. Those who know Excel, I know Excel, I can do this entire exercise in 15 minutes. So what I am explaining seems to be very difficult, but if you know Excel, you can do it very fast. Or it will come by practice only. So there are 21 variables. I have calculated the score of 21 variables, right? 210 percentage of score, average score. This is all. Now I have classified into 2, direct economic and indirect. Here I have taken 13 variables. We have taken 8 variables. Score of 8 variables, score of 13 variables, average score, and here also I have calculated. Then I have given the weightage, that is for direct economy, to me, direct economy means if there is an infrastructure, then only services could be provided. I give weightage 70%. Here I give weightage 30%. And the way you click it and you get the score of economic index of each village or town in your area. Calculate maximum, minimum, average, and then this you classify according to that, divide by 0. And see, here I have written 55. What is that? The average value is 3.5. How many villages are below average or equivalent to average? 55% of the villages are below average. Means 55% of the villages are having good economic index. Here it is showing 30%, but actually it is 45% villages. Now this data is of 2011. How to validate? I will tell you that also. So first let me know, have you understood or not? On the chat box. Get some idea, don't get confused, don't see it as a complicated, it's very easy. The easiest method which I have found it. I know many complicated methods, but it needs a primary survey. You don't have a time to do primary survey, you don't have the budget and you have to do it. If you start now, it will take first day 3 days. As you practice, it will 2 days. As you know Excel well, it will take 15 minutes only. So how many are satisfied with this method? How many will be using such type of method? Definitely I will be sharing Excel sheet. I'm very open. I will be sharing all the material. Need practice, yes, you need practice. Okay, shall we proceed further? So you have seen how to calculate the index. I hope you understood well. This is the simplest method which I can explain you. I know many complicated method, but I was told by many of the assessors, be simple so that it can be replicable, replicated, and that is why I have used a very simple technique. Now the part 1 is over. That is the collection of secondary data. Now we are coming to part 2 of first part, that is chapter 3. And that is how to collect the primary data. This is all the analysis which I have shown you is based on your secondary data. So you have created a database of your project area based on the secondary data. Now the question arises, what is your observation? What you have done? Whether whatever you have written in, whatever you have created in database, Excel database, have you verified it? Have you cross-checked it? And this is called a data validation technique. There are several techniques. Again, I will be using very simple technique. Okay? Because, good. Go to the, remember the first slide. You have designed project area 10 kilometers. And 10 kilometers can the 5 kilometer core zone, 10 kilometer buffer zone, 65 villages are there. Now you have to verify. Yeah, or you can say validate the secondary data in present context. Today you are going into the field, but there are 65 villages and towns. Which data you have to select? What are the criteria? I'm not going to explain you any of the definition. I told you earlier also that I may not be explaining any data that you have to do. But I will classify probability sampling and non-probability sampling. Points to remember that probability sampling, that every item in population has an equal chance to being included in the sample. This is a golden rule you should remember. We are not going to take non-probability sampling because of these reasons. But probability sampling, we are going to take at least 10% of the villages you should survey. If it is 65, 6 to 7 villages, you have to go. But how to select that 10% villages, and 6 to 7? So using this technique, I will be showing you demo also. Simple random technique. What you do? You do select, you have calculated, make a database, you have already made a database. Now you have to take district, sub-district, population data, and village name. And you created this sample, how to do sampling. Not all, I will be showing few of them. Now, simple random means at random, while drawing this, if you remember, you have developed a map in the beginning. तो जब मैप बना रहे थे तब साथ साथ लिस्ट बना रहे थे, तो पैटर्न ऑफ ऐसे नोट किया. And then what you did, you at random, you just corral your mouse and you came to this village. Okay, I will select, I will go this. This is all random techniques. You have selected this without any significance, without any criteria. At random, you have selected. And you have selected 6 to 7 villages, including the project village where the project is located. And then you have to make a diagram. Now, what is this? The green color is your now you can see. So whatever 6 villages you have selected, this I have done. Huh? I have done the same mistakes in 2011. I took a random, jaldi bachao jaan chodo, take a 6 villages, 7%, and see the location of the villages. All in a buffer zone. Nobody is the code zone. If your RIA Chemical Industry Private Limited want to increase the capacity of synthetic organic chemicals from 500 ml KLD to something metric ton to 1,000 metric ton, just double the capacity. So what will be the impact? If you ask your, whenever, see, you don't try to think yourself as an expert. You have to always consult your EIA coordinator and other expert, risk assessment. What will be the impact if something happened? How much it will be? So they will say it is in between 3 to 5 kilometers. You will see, they will say the amount, the quantity, the type of material are they are using. Or if it is in case of mining, and it is a big mining, then I think 10 kilometers is also not sufficient. Then we have to take the buffer zone of 15 zone, and then number of villages will be more. Then instead of 10, you have to take 20% of the sample. Now, what is wrong in this sample, which I have done? Can anybody tell? Primary data sampling technique. Yeah, I am doing the same. No, I'm doing. You have to rely upon some data set. So you have to select these data. I got it. I got it. I will come. Once you select these data, then wait a minute. Yeah. Once you select how to do primary sampling, no, that I will come. I will show you the data collection tool also. Okay. So don't tell me again. Share the PPT, and I will give you this. Rajni will send you each and every tile. I will make a folder, and I will send all this material in zip folder to Rajni, and Rajni will be sharing to all of you, those who have joined this course, or the member of this course, or sorry, have come to learn for this. So remember, now I have done very simple technique, and I was used to do. What is wrong in this sampling method? Method is correct, but what is wrong in your assumption? Can anybody tell? Okay, very good. Core zone, buffer zone. No more villages that you cannot decide. Selection of villages is not good. Good. Yeah. Main thing is, जहाँ impact आना वाला है, वहाँ पर तो एक भी हमने लिया नहीं है. Because sir, आपने बोला random, हमने randomly select कर लिया. But is it feasible? This sampling technique, is it a feasible technique? No. Because core zone में data ही नहीं है, and I told you it must be universally representing the entire area. This is not universally representing the entire area. You are just taken random sample, right? So this is the wrong way of doing it. Now, what is the right way? Second, systematic random sampling. What you did, again you develop, but here you have developed the data set randomly. What I did, I prepared the data set, and I have analyze increasing and decreasing pattern, make some systemization in the data of the population, right? So higher to lower. And I have selected one random number. Which is that random number? Random number is 10, 20, 30. जो village आता है, वो village हमको जाना है. And then including the project village where the project is located. Now see the pattern of sample. Is this okay for a chemical factory? Ria chemical factory who want to increase the capacity from no collected. There is one sample is there already. Two sample village are there. Impact zone में 2 sample villages हैं. But your EIA coordinator, the risk analysis expert says the impact will be in the 3 to 5 kilometers. So these 2 sample villages is not sufficient villages. Though it may seem that you have used a systematic, it is representative of the entire area. But in terms of impact, now remember, I was doing these mistakes again and again and again and again. Many assessors have pointed out, सिन्हा साहब आपने 2 ही सैंपल लिया है कोर एरिया में जहां इम्पैक्ट ज्यादा होता है. सर क्या करें? Right? So this come by practice. I have done this mistake, then I have to rectify, and again I have used the stratified sampling technique. What I did, same method, same data, put it into the systemized through ascending order, descending order. Then I have used strata 1 from this to this population. Because it is an urban area, we should not study urban area, very frankly. Because if you go in urban area, everything is there, so don't worry about that. Then from this data, from 9 to 6, I have made one strata of population, and I have taken at random 1 village. Here you are to little bit manipulative, little bit what you have to think logically, that we have to find the impact. So I have taken this larger code. Then similarly, I have created third strata, which is called stratified sampling. Right? Third strata from 4,000 to 2,000. Whatever at a here project site is kind of uske paas ka village हमने ले लिया because we want to know the impact. And this is again 1,000 to 1,500, one strata of population. I take at random 1 villages. And again, this is 5th strata, 1,014 to 1,000 and below 1,000 and below 500. So here I have taken at random 1 sample, and now you see the distribution pattern of the sample. Green. This is 1 out of 5 kilometers, and rest are all over in green. We have used the stratified sampling. Really, here I've completed the survey in 7 days. Here I completed the survey 5 days. Here I completed the survey in 2 days. Because nobody is going to pay you. You get a fixed amount and you have to do it. So you have to think in terms of money, right? And in terms of nature of project, nature of item being used. If this sample I use for mining, then it is totally wrong. For mining, if the buffer area is 15 kilometers, then the number of villages will be more. If it is 200, then you have to take around 10% means 20. And 20 villages you have to select in such a way that the mining area is this, and here the operation is going on. So how much noise it will produce, how much ecological disturbance it will produce, how much community will be affected by sound and all that. Considering those things, you have to do the sampling by developing stratified sampling or multi-stratified sampling. If it is here in my project area, if it is totally scheduled tribe population, then you create one more population data and percentage of scheduled tribe you calculate. Again, then you make a data. Then it will be a multi-stratified sampling because 2 data you have selected. Suppose there are more than 2 districts and there are 5 talukas. Then you do first strata, make a strata of districts. Within the district, you take a taluka. Within the taluka, you classify the Villages, within the villages, you classify the population. And within the population, you classify the ST population, multi-strata, multi-stage strata. The way, so it depends upon your own way, how you are going to use the sampling technique. Got it? How many are satisfied? Yeah, it depends upon 3 kilometers. It depends upon the project. Don't say it is 5 kilometers. Remember, it depends upon the nature of the project and its capacity, right? So how many? Only 2 people are satisfied. My God, out of 72. Okay. Good. 5 to 6 people. Yes, you have to think about the buffer zone mining. Good. Okay. Shall we move to next topic? So you have seen how to collect the sampling. Remember the golden rule that every item in the population has an equal chance of being included in the sample. And second golden rule is we want to know the impact. So take depending upon the project capacity and what do you call, depending upon the items which you are exploring or making, you have to do the sampling. So this is one way of doing the sampling. Yeah, now there was a question, right? How to do validation of secondary data. Earlier I have made a tool of 16 page and I used to go and do unnecessary collection of data. In 6th village, I used to go in a group, in a focus group discussion with villagers or key information interview either with the panchayat or the school teacher, whatever you feel is available. I used to collect huge amount of data. Then I got myself confused what to do, what not to do, what to include, what not to include. So karte from 2011 to came, and now in 2 pages I collect the data. Earlier I used to collect the demographic data also in 2011, but I found the demographic तो हमारे पास है, census में Excel sheet है, so I remove all demographic data from the data tool. I don't want demographic data. Wherever I am going, I want the respondent name and details. So it is authenticated that you have taken the information from the right person. And then name, district, total household and total population. This is very important component. I will tell you why. Because you are in 23 and your census data is 2011. So these 2 variables you have to take it. Then religious and language, okay. Then yes, you won't get data of profession. And without profession, how you can recommend the employment? So within the group, wherever you are doing the focus group discussion, you ask among the working population, how many are cultivators, percentage, in percentage. How many are agricultural labor, how many are casual labor, how many are doing petty business, service, unskilled, right? Service class skilled and unskilled, both. Now, what happened? I will share you my experience. While collecting these data, you go into the field and you generate a group. Within a group, you find the information coming is all unreliable. People बस्ती के लिए आपके साथ हाँ ना yes कुछ भी बोल देते हैं. Remember, try to contact key informant interview means you have data selection. If you are not getting data in FGD, you should go for KII, key information. Either go to Sarpanch, either go to school teacher, or you carry a very elderly person of the village. An elderly person living old age life, he knows everything, especially in ecology, biodiversity. I have experimented this thing. PLA technique, participatory learning technique. That's a different issue. So अगर आपको वो information नहीं देता है, then you have to take these information from such a reliable person. But whatever is telling is the true in the current time period in 2023, right? Similarly, for the education pattern, school going, how many are below graduate, postgraduate, professionals, and IIT certificate course. Then, sorry, then you can do the understand सबसे ज्यादा कल्टीवेशन किस चीज का होता है, नोट डेट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग उस विलेज में कोई होता है, हाउस होल्ड इंडस्ट्रीज है कि नहीं, उसको अगर है तो किस चीज की है. Now this is the amenities which I was telling you, right? I have taken 15 indicators, if you remember, right, in quality of life. Now I am doing the validation. In 2011, it was yes. Now what is the situation? It was no. Now what is the situation? You ask each and or you observe. If you roam in the village, you observe, you will get the real data. Then there is a need. CER. I will coming to that. What do you want? They will give out. Or some NGOs is working. What, how much they have contributed that you have to do. And this is the distance criteria about the village, where from taluka and from district and from the project area, how it is far. This much is more than sufficient. I have done a lot of data. I think there is one participant, Mr. Pauline Thakur. He's been trained under me in Vapi. So he knows out of 25 pages to 15 pages to 12 pages, now to 8 pages, now to 2 pages. Because the moment we get feedback from the assessor, we have to confine, we have to totally confine our objective that we are looking for the impact assessment, right? We know, we want to know the quality of life. So we have to confine. ये धीरे धीरे आया है. आपको तो बड़ा मिल गया, लेकिन from me it is a work of last 15 years, if you say, right? Now see, education pattern. What you have to do, वो आदमी भी गप्पे मार सकता है, तो 2011 का डेटा यहाँ रख लो. And then you ask, you will get an information like this: below graduate 84%, graduate 12%, post graduate and no professional course. यहाँ ही नहीं, यहाँ पर 5% है, यहाँ पर 6% है, यहाँ 0 है. तो एवरेज निकालेंगे. तो ये हम क्या कर रहे हैं? वी आर वैलिडेटिंग द एजुकेशन डेटा in current circumstances, and this is becomes a recommendation that below graduate is 81%, graduate is 11%, postgraduate is 6%, and professional course are 3%. Which are these 3%? In which village you can recommend in your recommendation that those technical people, IITs or diploma holders, should be taken and given in the first preference to get the employment. You can go for entire 65, but these are, if you see the what I have shown you last sampling pattern, all is within the 5 kilometers, right? So within the 5 kilometers, it becomes the duty of the proponent to understand, to take these people in as an employer. Similarly, cultivator kitna hai, agriculture kitna hai, casual labor kitna hai, this is 15%. And unskilled is 33%, skilled is 3%. So you can recommendation that skilled person you can take from these villages and unskilled. In our sometimes we used to write the name and address also with the qualification, because we have to submit it, the list, to the proponent and say these are the potential candidates to be recruited in your company. What the thing? So this is the sample validation doing. You cannot do for the entire 65 days, but you can do whatever the sample you have drawn, and using that data sheet you go. And see, this is a regular operation and contractual bed. You are expanding the projection. Contractual may you can put 8, managerial 2, skilled 5, unskilled 5. So these people, unskilled people, any 5% you can take in the contract system. The total potential of this is very small. It is only 50. Expansion में और खाली 20 लोगों को employment दे रहा है. But I have done some big project also where they have given 100 of employment, and this type of analysis gives you an exact idea, not an exact, but some proportion, and make the proponent feel his responsibility that the first employment should be from the nearby villages. Okay, got it? The person. I am not discussing with the farmer. I am discussing the entire FGD in a heterogeneous group where all sort of people, male, female, children, students, everybody is there. And among them, 2 or 3 will be very dynamic to give the answers, right? Professional, that is a profession, skilled profession, lawyer. but you have to think the employment in terms of your project area, the proponent, the type of factory you are going to do. So there are, what happened usually, I tell you, class 3 and class 4 employees are taken from the villages within the 5 kilometers area. Plus class 1 and class 2 are all migratory population coming from different area, highly educated people. But when I was working in the south, I got surprised. I got highly educated people in villages also, and they were given the choice, recruited in that biomedical waste plant. So there are occasions, not the pattern will not remain same all over India. If you go, the pattern will vary of employment, right? And now suppose this is related to expansion. One more thing is, now this is happens already 30 people are working. Just ask the proponent, giving the list of the all 65 villages, how many people 30 are coming from these villages. This is the first way of verifying that a proponent is giving employment to the from the nearby villages. This is the first verification. And second, you are proposing something. So you, इसमें कोई rocket science नहीं है, उसको list दे देना है village का. And you ask, I want a grade of employees coming from different, male or female. Female तो मिलेगा ही नहीं, male ही male मिलेगा. Some industries में अभी recently we have seen female ratio. So male and female ratio you can calculate and write in it. Okay, now got it? What not focused? See, you are, when you are doing a focus group discussion, you have to create your own agenda that I want such and such data. And how to do focus group discussion is a technique. What is participatory learning technique? Is a technique. I have done all these courses and I know my job, how it is done. If the group is deviating, telling you different information, leave that group. Do KII, do PLA technique among the few individuals. There are several techniques. It is not focus group discussion. Don't see focus group discussion from the subject point of view. Focus group discussion here, I mean the heterogeneous group you are taking, the population group, and you are discussing the various type of topics in that. You can do if it is related to women, then you are focused. You are selecting only women group and you are focused about their women's right, about their career. So that is the focus, that particular thing. Okay. We shall move next. This is data validation in 6 villages with that particular form, which I shown you, 2-page form. I have done this. The population data, 2011 में 168 था, now it is 200. This is household data, sorry. Now it is 200. But Panchayat people won't give you. This data will only come from focus group discussion. Panchayat data में वो हमेशा 2011 देगा. They are not authorized to share any data until and unless it has been shared from the top level. We have tried and we failed. So we started collecting this data and I have shown you these two variable, excuse me. So these two variable we used to ask the people, and these two variable we used to observe. Commercial bank है कि नहीं? So what is our main concern? नहीं है, ठीक है, नहीं है लेकिन अब है. तो ऐसे कितने गांव में है? It is 67% of the villages. Out of 67% have now upgraded the facilities. Here also for this 67. Here only 33. But in all other variables, there is no change which we found. It is equivalent to as status found in 2011. And so there is a change in these villages. The change you have to show. This is the data validation. You do direct technique. There is another very complicated technique where you do the data validation, doing a lot of formulas and calculation. That will be very difficult. So usually I discarded one. Even this become very. Don't ask this now, Manning. I will tell you. This is very great. Now that I will tell you later on. Now see, so in some villages you will get 8 variables where there is a change. You have to note that. This is the way of doing online direct validation. And this is become very true easy because you are going into the field. It may happen if I teach you that method, you may not be doing, you are not very familiar with the Excel, you cannot do it. Yeah, okay, sample size of mining area. After lunch, I will design it and I will show you how to do the sample sizing. Okay, that I will tell you if it is coming. Now we are demographic index, so abhi hum nahi kar sakte because still I am not able. I have done it, but it is not appropriate, so I have discarded it. But economic index, what we did, we took a census data of 2011, and now we want to project the economic index of 2023. In the beginning, I have shown you two slides where the source of data is coming. No, so there is one. I have read an article that if you want to know the dynamics of the economics and the quality of life, then two variables are most important. That is real estate and industrial growth. Now, what you have to do, you have to search a little bit Google of your area, and you will get some reports, market survey reports, and they will show you the percentage of growth rate from 10 years में कितना real estate ने growth किया है और quality of life कितनी facilities आई है. They will tell you everything. Industrial growth कितना हुआ है. Based on that data, you put using a simple left-hand rule, you add from you do minus from here and add in upper group, and this will give you the exact, not exact, but approximate estimation, the variation of the quality of index in 2023 from 2000. You can put that percentage data here, and now you see here it is got reduced, here it is 23, it is got increased, means poor category is reducing, fair category, good category is increased from 20 to 40, excellent from 6, here it is 9, and here you are getting 18, just double the percentage. So this is the way to validate the quality of index and economic index using the area. Surat is highly industrialized. Within 10 years, you know, I used to visit frequently, and whenever I go, I get lost. Such a fast expanding. In the world, it is the sixth, it stands sixth rank in expanding, urban expansion. So there could be possible that 50% variation is there. But in other areas, 9 to 10% variation in industrial growth as well as in quality of life, economic growth. Every area is not, but in Andhra, I went in an area where there is a huge industry. Earlier I went, there was nothing. In Pune, I went 2017. It was showing, I will come that example also. Why we have, what observation we have to make. So got that thing, how to validate the index data is this. Demographic, I am working on it because I am not satisfied the way I am getting the result. So I have not included. In near future, we will get it. So I think it's about to 1 o'clock, but still we have a 10 to 20 minutes. So far in chapter 3, I have completed. And I wish I could take a question answer session, and whatever you are having doubts related to chapter 3 in generating data, in analyzing data, creating database, please
Dr. Sena,
share with me.
Dr. Sena,
Yes, sir.
Dr. Sena,
Yeah.
you must be tired.
Yes, sir.
Stop your talking. We can take a break, or we can do one thing. You know, the first part, chapter 3, now we have to move into chapter 4 and also finally go to chapter 10. So, आप क्या चाहेंगे? Would you like to take a break or?
No, I would like to take break because I'm not tired.
Yeah, that's what
Because this socio-economic impact assessment is also very interesting, as suggested and developed by you.
What I suggest we, since it's going to be quarter, you know, almost 45, we can break lunch and assemble here at 1:30.
1:30.
1:30. Then
Go for 1 hour.
because the next session is going to be long, so we will have a break of 10
Yeah. Okay, agreed.
minutes in the next session for a bio break or tea break. I wish we could transfer the tea digitally to all the members, but science is not developed to that level. So we can take a break with the permission of all the members and assemble here at 1:30 again for the next 2 more sessions.
Okay.
Is it okay with everybody?
Okay, it's okay.
Let's take a break.
Thank you.
Okay, okay.
1:30.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your cooperation.
Okay. Okay.